Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a cool little knife that I had the opportunity to pick up while I was at Blade Show last month in June of 2023. This is obviously from a company called Kizer, and as you can see from the title, this is the Kizer Urban Bowie. Now, I saw this guy kind of sitting at the end of the table there, and I had no intentions of picking it up. But when I picked it up and held it in my hand, it just looked really, really cool. It was a fun little knife, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Obviously, if you have the opportunity to attend Blade Show, a lot of times you will get some of these knives at a more discounted price. They do show pricing and stuff like that. So I actually got the opportunity to pick this guy up for 40 bucks while I was there. So I thought for 40 bucks, you couldn't beat it, especially because of the materials that you're getting with it. So it does come in this little pouch. Obviously, if you purchase it, from another retailer or something like that, you might get a box with it. Since you're there, they just kind of give you the pouch, which is fine because I end up throwing away the boxes anyways. So inside of here, you have a little cloth, and then you have the knife itself. Now, from looking around online, I do believe that this knife is available in a couple of different handle materials. You do have a black G10, but this one, as you can tell, is the brown micarta, and I think it looks really, really nice. I love the way micarta feels in the hand, especially brown micarta, because the more you kind of handle the blade, it starts picking up the oils from your hand and stuff like that, and it'll start patinaing and looking really, really cool. So this is a small little guy, as you guys can see right here. This is actually a Dirk Pinkerton design, which is really nice. He does some really, really awesome designs. You can see here that it is tapped to carry the pocket clip on the left side as well. So you do have right side carry or left side carry, tip up only, which is really nice. And the clip does ride very high, which is nice. So it lets the knife actually ride very low inside of your pocket. So if you're worried about the knife sticking out or something like that, don't worry about it. You do have a pretty sizable lanyard hole, which will be able to accept ungutted paracord if you wanted to put a lanyard on it. With the size of this little guy, I probably would recommend it, but I would probably go with something not necessarily decorative, but if you can find a really cool, maybe micarta bead or something like that to throw on there on the lanyard, I think this is one of those knives that would definitely be able to look a lot better from doing that. So again, here's your pocket clip, and then you have a thumb hole as far as to open the blade. It is very easy to get to, so if you wanted to use your thumb to open the blade, you can go ahead and do that. But if you wanted to go ahead and reverse flick it, or what they call spidey flick it, you can also do it. Failed attempt on the first one, but got it on the second one. So here is the knife opened. I'll give you a couple of specs on the knife itself. You have an overall length of 5.76 inches. So again, it is a small little guy. The blade is actually 2.37 inches. So 2.37, it's perfect for majority of EDC tasks. So if you need a small little blade to be able to kind of get you through the day, you can go ahead and use this as a primary EDC because of what I would say is a really, really awesome blade shape. As far as the handle length is 3.39 inches. So here it is for my hands. I normally wear a size large glove. I get exactly 4 fingers on there. But if you have a little bit larger hands or something like that, I would definitely recommend throwing on that lanyard just so you have a little bit something more to kind of grip on it. It is a liner lock, as you guys can see right there. Lockup is perfectly decent, nice and rock solid. It does have a little bit of a cutout right here, so you are able to disengage that lock very easily and close the knife up if you need to be able to do that. And then you do have your stainless steel liners right there. You do have a little bit of jimping in the front right here, which was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. And then you have jimping in the back right here of the handle, and then some jimping that follows up on the blade itself. Now, as far as the jimping on the blade, it was really interesting to see. It's on the side of the blade, but not on the very top, which kind of caught me by surprise at first, because over here it is on the top. So, your thumb kind of rests right there. But if you do want to choke up on there, when you put your thumb down, the pad kind of spreads over the top of the blade, and it locks in there. It's very, very nice. It locks in there perfectly. So if you do have to choke up to do some, more specific cutting or something like that, that jimping right there is going to lock your thumb in there, and it is not going to go anywhere. As far as the blade is concerned, as I mentioned, obviously by the name, this is a Bowie style blade. So you do have a nice kind of upsweep on the blade right here, and it comes to a very aggressive tip, and you have a lot of belly right there, which is really good for cutting things and stuff like that. If you have to do like push cuts and whatnot, that belly is going to work very, very nicely. And then because it is that Bowie style, you know, it has the upswept and then the downswept from here, and it comes to a really nice point. So if you need to pierce some tape or something like that to open up a box, you can go ahead and do that. As far as markings on the blade, you do have the Kizer logo right there, the serial number of the or the model number of the knife itself is right there, and then 154 cm stamped on the blade, which is your blade steel. Again, for such a little guy like this, the fact that they threw in there the 154 cm is a plus. Great steel, you know, performs very nicely, and it is pretty easy to sharpen back up. You do have the Dirk Pinkerton's markings right there, right at the top of the blade, and then the name of the knife itself, which is Urban Bowie, stamped on the bottom there. I like the fact that they put the name on it because with so many knives, it makes it a little difficult to remember, but I think this little guy makes such a great impression, you would probably never forget it. So again, this is the Urban Bowie from Kizer Knives. I think it's a great little option. As I mentioned, I paid about $40 for this guy, but I think you could probably find it in other retailers anywhere from, you know, $50 to maybe $55. So anywhere from $40 to $55, you really cannot go wrong picking this little guy up. As I mentioned, it is a smaller sized knife, but because of that blade, I think you could definitely get away with it being your primary EDC knife, especially if you want something with a little bit smaller package. But the best thing is that you do get a 2.37-inch blade, but the whole package, the whole knife is coming in at 2.59 ounces. So just a hair over 2.5 ounces. Very lightweight, and that's obviously thanks to that micarta scales on there. And then you do have some skeletonized liners in there, which does allow it to cut back on the weight. Now there is no backspacer on here, so it's a flow-through design, which makes it very easy to keep clean. If you got any gunk or anything like that, you can just kind of blow it out and keep your knife performing very nicely on an everyday basis. So again, this was just a quick look at the Kizer Urban Bowie. This one is obviously in the brown micarta scales. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.